But the main thing is not to make the money, but create this relationship. And if your products are worth it, you will see the outcome.
I think we are planning this for 2 years now, 3 maybe.
Yeah.
And it's finally happening.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
And yeah, thanks a lot for the invitation and thanks for waiting.
Of course.
But yeah, it's kind of I feel better that I'm here and not in a call, because when we're talking about this, I was living in the UK, so we had to do it through Zoom or something.
Yes.
But I think it's better, like it's more natural like this. More.
Yeah. I did the same with some people where we did the first one through Zoom call and then they come here, and it's very different, like because you have the energy of the other person.
Yeah. Also, you don't sometimes, when you're on a call, both persons will speak on top of each other or things like that. Or so I think it's better like this. Also on the video, I think it looks better to have like in the same space than having to change cameras and. But it's kind of preference.
And also you cannot control, like here I can now have my cameras and microphones. When it's through Zoom, I cannot control what camera they have, what microphone, if there is a noisy environment or not.
Yeah, so, maybe the voice sounds very different. I mean, you can still do some editing, but
it's not the same. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. It's a pleasure to have you, man. You do so much great work, cool lettering stuff, so many big names, collaborations with Adobe, Wacom, Satori. Yeah. So many things we're going to talk about, of course. And well, my favorite thing about you is that you do so many stuff. You're so... I don't say talented because I know you work a lot to achieve that, but you are very humble.
Okay.
And you don't really talk about it. You don't really, so yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of proud of what I've done, and I'm really happy, of course. These collabs kind of, I was dreaming about this, but in the end I was thinking like, okay, you have to do more now. It's kind of, there's never a limit.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
No, I feel the same way actually.
Yeah,
like when I do something,
you have done also like many things.
Okay, done. Let's go to the next thing now.
Exactly. Like it's kind of it loses, not it loses. Like it becomes like okay, I did it. It wasn't that difficult, but in the end, it was like you achieved something. It was a big challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, the same as you. I mean, you work with companies like Netflix, Amazon, and this kind of many designers are dreaming about this. I mean,
yeah, and I like the first years, I didn't even say that to anyone, just close friends, and everyone was like, "Man, you need to tell this to people. You need to write it everywhere." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it."
Yeah, I mean, I was doing the same because in the beginning I was afraid that I will be more nervous about my work, even if it was a video. That's even worse, because I was thinking if people I know will watching, I will think about this during the video. So in the beginning, I didn't want to advertise myself and say, join me on this video because I will talk with Adobe or someone. And but in the end, I was saying, okay, but this is the time. If you don't do it now, people will not know. And it's kind of
like Adobe invited you to Adobe Live. If you don't tell people now, who are you waiting for?
Yeah. And on the other hand, I wanted to have like the bigger the audience, the better. And so in the end, I mean, the impact was very good because many designers, many people I know, I like their work, joined, and they added comments on Behance or YouTube, because the video was also on YouTube, but it was on Behance, the main focus of Adobe, and Adobe Behance Live, I mean.
But really happy that you did that, because you practice. Adobe helps you to practice so you can come to my podcast and speak in English.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Obviously my mother tongue is not English, so
Me neither. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's a bit. It is difficult, if you don't.
Yeah. Would you like to tell people a little bit about you?
I am a designer. Even I put the label of designer, but I don't want to put it like a graphic designer or something, because I like doing things like graphic design, motion sometimes, lettering. It could be even 3D now sometimes. Also video and photography, as you know, I really like photography. But yeah, I work as a designer, like a marketing designer, in my 9 to 5 job. Actually, all my 9 to 5 jobs in the past were basically in the marketing industry and or branding. But at the same time, I also do like things online. I'm trying to build a profile online, like with a YouTube channel, which is also related to design, of course. And do like things like I do freelancing. I'm trying to improve more on other aspects, like other skills on kind of design, if it is video or motion.
Like, first question I ask everyone, what's your goal right now?
I think my goal is related to that. Like, I would like to improve more and grow more on my presence online, like the YouTube, some other side projects I'm doing, because I feel that I have left this behind the last years. I was focusing more on my 9 to 5 jobs, which I think I am happy with it how it is now, and I would like to improve this as well. And but also the thing is that I'm trying to learn new stuff all the time, like, and have new projects on my mind all the time. So I would like to do these somehow, find time or something.
Yeah. Is it projects on YouTube, like video projects, or in general?
It could be anything. Okay. Like, on YouTube, for example, I do a lot of tutorials, but I would like to learn more about 3D, for example. But I have to find to learn the 3D, create some projects, and then do the tutorials later. The same as motion with After Effects or something.
Yeah.
You know better on this stuff, like, about motion, and it takes time. You need to the experience to.
So when you say improve, this is what you mean, to start implementing new things there, like not just lettering, being
exactly
more like actual 3D or video animation and stuff.
Yes, I would like to make it more wide and more things like that. Also about video, and maybe improve my skills on storytelling and how these things works. Also cinematography. Like, I would like my videos to be more of to tell a story than just a tutorial. That's why sometimes I use some B-roll in the beginning, which is kind of me going to the desk and having a drink, like having a cup of coffee or something. Yeah,
that's really cool. I'm gonna go back to that. Like, from 0 to 10, where do you stand in terms of achieving your goal? Like 10 being like you have improved in everything and you are where you want to be.
So where I'm at the moment, like, let's say like something like 5, but I am at 5 from quite like quite some time on that, because it's kind of I post on, because I wasn't uploading a lot. Now I have started again, and now I'm trying to make it a bit different, because now I put my face and it's more personal on the videos. So I think there's a long way, but I'm happy with how it goes.
From what you said before, using like more cinematography now, which I liked, showing yourself in front of the camera, because it's something that you didn't do in the beginning.
Yes.
What did motivate you to go from behind the camera to the front of it?
So I think these videos are, so for example, from other YouTubers, what's more is when there is this personal feeling that people are talking to you and it's more engaging. I don't know, it happens automatically to watch more on these videos. I think that's on every person.
Yeah.
And so also about the cinematography stuff that I were talking, I'm trying to understand which is better to have, like they say that to keep the viewer in the first seconds, it has to be very careful what you'd like to show. So it's kind of, you can see videos that there are videos that have like an intro in the beginning. There are videos that which have like not disclaimer, but an intro, people speaking, and then the intro of the logo or something. I think it tends to be like people are removing the intros and go straight to the point. That's the like that's now how the social media works. Because everything is in the first 5 seconds, as they say. So
I think like if you look the old videos on YouTube, it's like maybe even like 1 minute intro,
exactly,
and then it's 30, and then 50 seconds, and it's also our spam, attention spam. Like it was 30 seconds, now 50, 10, now it's 5.
And now I have watched like many big tutorial channels. They don't have an intro, they don't have a logo or something in the beginning. They just go straight to the point and let's start now doing tutorial, and they start. So I'm trying to think, because it's not always about the viewer. Actually, it should not be. It's kind of, you have to enjoy it. So I enjoy more to have like a good result in the beginning, like more of maybe more cinematic or something, because I like that style. And so I think I will keep adding something in the beginning, and then
I think it's a different viewer, two different categories actually. I think the first one, when you go straight into it, it's a person that right now it's working on something and he just needs that small extra thing in his tutorial, in this tutorial, to make his project work.
Okay.
So he's searching from it, find it, does it, and never watch your video again. The second category is people that they're gonna be fans, they're gonna be part of your tribe, and they're gonna doesn't matter what video you come up with, they're gonna watch it. So this is how I feel about.
And if you notice that, it's kind of you probably have seen in many like videos, in the comments they say that's the video I was needing, straight to the point, not a lot of like extra stuff. Many people need that. I mean, we do this as well. But when we wanted just to see how to do something on software or something, we need that.
But for me, it's very rare that if I'm looking for something, I found it, I'm gonna like it, maybe I'm gonna comment, but it's very rare I'm gonna subscribe and watch other videos from the same person. The only time will be like if I'm searching for something, I find this person, and after a week I'm searching again and found the same person. I'm like, he's probably doing a lot of cool YouTube tutorials, so maybe I should follow it. But usually it's about the personality, if I'm gonna follow something.
But that's another topic, that cameras and filming and settings on those. Which is also another thing about YouTube that I was trying to improve, that to have better quality on my videos, I focused on the setup. Like, more about this because your setup is very good and very professional. But
okay.
No, it's super good, really. But I wanted to have like a proper to look proper on the mics, on the lighting. That was very important. So I wanted to find the lights that look good. And also about have some blurry background and all of kind of this stuff. So I spent some hours on testing, on watching tutorials, on
I think that's the way to really learn and understand it.
Exactly. Or if you study on this stuff, and you can have like access to professional equipment, and then teachers who can teach you. But
any tips for people that want to start doing YouTube videos?
One of the most important things is to keep one niche, like to have something specific that you do. I mean, not very specific. It could be like graphic design in general, but not to have like vlogs and designs stuff and tutorial, and not all of them, because people are not subscribing, and people don't watch it like will not watch all your videos, or just watch one video and say, okay, that's not what I'm looking for, because the next one was something different.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important to have a specific, topic of what you're doing. And then another thing is to be consistent, even if I'm not very consistent, but it's good for the algorithm to upload once a week. I will not say every day, because I don't think that helps a lot. But if it is once a week, especially, I think if it is a specific day, I think it's even better.
I think that's better for people actually, because they know every Friday night they're gonna have a new video from you.
And I'm not sure, but maybe that helps on the algorithm too.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm
maybe.
not sure about.
Yeah.
But also, maybe the most important is, which is kind of sounds very boring, but you have to like what you do, and don't do it for the money or to be a YouTuber.
Yes.
And because this will come last. You have to like what you do and do it because you enjoy it, for fun.
Yeah.
And also it's nice to do it for networking.
Yes.
And because it is a very good place to get to know people, other designers. I
think this is how we met actually.
Yeah, exactly. And because through YouTube, I think.
Yes.
And because that's very important, even if you're in everyday life, and also to improve your skills, improve your design work, and share your thoughts, and get feedback, give feedback. All of these are very important. And it's very also fulfilling to have people commenting on you, because they want to give you feedback, not just to comment for judging you or in a bad way. I mean,
yeah.
And you build relationships. Yeah, you have built relationships a lot with many designers on the podcast, and which is all around the world. It's not like you are very far away. you probably will not meet each other.
Yeah,
in person.
True.
And I think it's very nice that. Also, going back to the things I want to about my goals, maybe that's one of the biggest goals, to have more networking on internet, online with other designers, and build more relationships with that.
Yeah.
But I think these are the most important things about starting a channel. Or also another thing is, it depends on the audience that you'd like to gain. For example, what's your language? If you speak to a specific language, then you know that the audience will be probably the people from this country, or people who also speaks a bit of this language. For example, I am doing in English, you are doing in English, even if it is not our mother tongue, but we know that there is a bigger limit. Actually, there's no limit of how many people will watch our videos, and the engagement is even bigger. And
I had a lot of people in the beginning, especially in the videos back 4 or 5 years ago, when I was starting doing that told me no one's doing that for design, maybe in Greece, so maybe you should do it in Greek, etc. But I didn't feel like it. And I also thought about the probably in Greece you will be going up, growing way easier and faster, I guess. But there is also a cap into it and a limit. So I don't know. It's a
exactly. I agree. Totally agree.
So it depends on, I guess, what people want. If you want to be more comfortable speaking in your mother language and growing also faster because it's a more niche audience, then you should do that.
But as you said, in the end, there is a limit of how far you can go. And I mean, especially it depends how big is the audience on that. And but that's why I chose to do it in English. But in the other hand, you have to know that you will not be as comfortable as you would be
Yes.
on your own language. But also, it's kind of you won't feel like doing this very natural, like
Yeah. Actually, for me personally, this is why I do it and why I do it in English to practice, because
exactly, yeah.
like when I started the channel, it was because I loved doing videos, but I felt uncomfortable in front of the camera. I was camera shy, so I was like, okay, let's get to my uncomfort zone and start doing videos. So
Yeah.
it's the same. So doing it in English, it's even worse. So, but now I feel like after a few years that I have practiced it, and it's better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But also another reason is I was not feeling in the beginning like quite comfortable with talking in the camera, doing videos. So I was feeling that nobody knows me if I do it in English. If I don't advertise, if I don't spread it or share it on my social, nobody will know. So I will feel more free and confident with. If it will not be very nice, it's fine. I mean, if I will feel like a cringy with watching myself talking about it in the camera, nobody I know will see it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I will not be judged.
So it was easier for you to start it this way.
Yeah. In the beginning, I remember that. Also, another social, I didn't advertise what I'm doing. For example, I remember that I had a Facebook page with my designs, not my profile, my page, but I didn't want my connections, my Facebook friends to know about that. So I wasn't advertising it, but I was advertising on. When I mean advertising, I don't mean paid advertisement, just posting on other groups, design groups. And then I realized that there's a difference if you do it on private groups or public groups. And then I saw one of my friends liked my page. I was like, what happened? Like I didn't know that they had seen that.
Okay.
That was funny, but in the end it was good.
Nice.
So yeah.
So you're doing like tutorials, you're doing speed art of 3D lettering on YouTube and different content.
It's kind of all of these, and it's more focused on lettering, but now I'm trying to make it more, to spread it more, like more wide.
Yeah, I saw you did like a Cinema 4D video the other day.
Yes, but because on my latest videos, I mean the ones I have done a couple of months ago, but they're focused on 3D lettering. But I would like to change that as well, or change maybe the software. For example, now I have started learning the Adobe Substance, which is also about 3D. It's another way of doing 3D stuff. And or maybe I can go back to Illustrator and Photoshop, do more things about that.
So do you have a process, or is it do you change it every time? Like you said, you're experimenting every time.
It depends. I mean, sometimes it looks quite similar, the videos I'm doing, but some other times I would like to make something different. So there is a process kind of. First, I will make a research or something to find what I'm going to do, like a design, or maybe on Pinterest I will, for inspiration, I will look for designs, and then I will make a design, and then I will think about how I want the tutorial to be, maybe write down some bullet points about what I'm going to talk about, and then film it. So first I create the design, and then I recreate it on the filming.
Yeah, that was my question actually. If you do it twice, basically.
Most of the times, yes.
Okay.
Because if I don't do this, sometimes I haven't done this, but if I don't do this, in the end I will make a bigger video, and I will have to edit more later in the video.
Exactly.
I will have to cut out all the all the stuff that is not needed.
Okay. So if you're planning to start a YouTube channel, take notes. That's the process.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, every person has a different way.
I think it's helpful in the beginning to hear what other people are doing that are in the industry, in the thing for a long time. Try to copy that, and then you adjust it to your needs and what you do.
For example, I had questions about, should I talk when I'm doing the design, or maybe do the design and then voice over on Premiere Pro or something, my voice. I have done both.
Which one is better?
I don't really know. It depends on the process, on the
actual
design.
process. Okay.
I mean, but I thought that many people are doing this, like, especially if they're English. I mean, if they speak English,
Yeah.
that they're doing the video and at the same time they're speaking.
Yeah.
It looks like this.
Yeah.
But then after a couple of videos, I realized they were saying that they do the voiceover
Yeah,
later.
exactly.
I was like, oh, it looks so like natural, but it was not.
Yeah, for me, I will say if I needed to do it some way, I will go with the voiceover, just because the first one feels like what you said before, that you will need to edit way more. When the voiceover, you just do it. When you screen recording, you cut the video up, you edit it, and then you just, it's like, how you say when there is a match and the people do the speakers over it.
Okay.
It's like watching your own video and basically
do this.
Yeah.
But you already know what you have done. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you
yeah,
remember most of the stuff. But I think, sometimes it's easier. Also, you don't have to say it many times.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is, when I'm doing video, sometimes I say wrong words, or
that's
or
another
maybe
thing.
do when you confuse with a pronunciation.
Yeah.
And so that means that you have to say the same thing, the same phrase for 5 times, for example.
Yes.
And then keep the one that is okay.
Yeah, and like if you're doing a talking head video recording, you could like make a mistake the way that you talk and make a mistake the way that you look or react. If you're also doing the tutorial, you put a third thing that you could make a mistake doing the tutorial. So I feel that you will need to reshoot it
Exactly
20 times more than normal.
Yeah, people who doesn't do videos don't realize how much work is behind that.
Yes.
How much work.
Yes.
Because it's kind of from setup to the settings to, I mean, on the equipment, to the the plan, the script. All of these are.
I think that's the magic, though, for everything, every creative thing. Like when the other person think that's easy, or they feel like somehow you're doing it to look so easy. You have that flow that the other person that doesn't know thinks it's easy. I think you're in another level. So
indeed. But that's something that also, if people would like to start a channel or something, in general videos, will have to like this as well. I mean, if you don't like this, you will get bored easily.
Yes.
So
you need to like the process. You need to put a lot of work, because I think a lot of people told me, I want to start a YouTube channel to make money.
No,
that's probably not the best investment of your
I had thought about this in the beginning as well. I thought it was easy, but that's not easy at all. I mean,
again, it looks easy. That's the point.
But it's not easy. Also, if you think how many channels are monetized, is actually I saw another video the other day, and it was saying that only 1% of the YouTube channels are above 100K.
Okay.
Only 1%.
This is what I wanted to search later on and put it here on your screen to see it. But you already searched it, so awesome.
No, I mean, I heard some other YouTubers say that, but it sounds like of how many like millions of channels are there are out there. And only 1%.
Yeah, but
say that.
And we see those channels. The other ones, you never see them, so you're like, oh, look how many people are on there and doing so much money, but you don't see all the other millions that are doing nothing.
There are cases that some channels have just 5 videos on them, and one of them get viral, and then it becomes like 100K from one day to the other. I have seen that.
Yeah, I've seen actually with Thanos. He was here the other time. We have spotted like last month about 3 or 4 persons that had one video and 1 billion views and a ton of subscribers in the first video, and was like,
did they have another?
Do they do something really like
good,
they
or-
know exactly what they're doing, or maybe they had other videos and they deleted them, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Or maybe they have another channel with kind of couple
yeah,
of videos.
that's also
and-
another
Yeah.
strategy that
Maybe, but yeah, sometimes it's just luck. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of luck on
Yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion. I have seen like some designing videos. Oh, for example, I remember there was a video about graffiti, like on the Procreate, and it had like, I don't know, 20 million views a video. And I was like, okay, how did that happen? Because the setup, it was not the very focused on the setup. It was just about what it's doing. Maybe that's the way, but it was a good channel. But the first videos was growed very big, quite actually very
Yeah.
quickly. And so yeah, but if you start doing this for that, that's very difficult to happen.
Yes.
For example, I have seen other YouTubers that they do, so they are very focused. What they're doing is upload a video like once or twice a week, and they do this for years, and they have become very big channels, but because of their hard work. I mean, channels like as I said earlier, with Will Patterson or Satori Graphics, who have like, yeah, they have a lot of videos, very like full of information and design stuff, but I don't think they became famous in one night. Like
Yeah.
the video got viral straight away, but they keep working, hard work, and uploading videos all the time, and having like a lot of networking. So they were reacting with the comments, and then doing other comments in other channels. And I think that's the point. Like, if, in my opinion, that's the correct way. Even if it does not go, your channel go big.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel
my
that
channel is
it
not
needs
big.
to go nice and steady and have like an growth, a steady growth, instead of doing a spike and then dropping
Yeah.
again.
Maybe it's not like, if you do that, if that happens actually, maybe it will not be okay for the second or third video, because these will not be viral as well, and maybe the
Yes.
algorithm will drop them down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that I think it's worth to spend time on.
Yeah.
Like,
I had like way in the beginning another guest that she had a similar situation when she had like a viral video on YouTube, and she got like, I don't know, 15 million, I don't remember,
Okay.
like a lot, and she
Yeah.
got a lot of subscribers out of this one video. But she was doing a lot of different videos, and the rest were like, so she had a ton of subscribers coming all at once, expecting to see similar stuff, but that was like the one viral random video that she did, and she didn't really want to do more of it.
Exactly. And
So that's yeah.
and in the end of the day, it's not the subscribers that count, it's the views that count on
Yes.
YouTube. I mean,
I think now it's even that, like, it's the watch time, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. It's the watch time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that it's not like the like or the comment or just the view. As you say, it's, you have to watch a lot of the video to watch it all, so the algorithm will understand that this is something.
And now I think the algorithm is more smart, so they're looking more into, okay, this person clicked on that video, he watched all of it, and then he went for another video of the same person, and then he watched a third one, and then he subscribed.
Yeah.
So this channel is good.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
agree.
it's not just the one video, it's how the person is reacting in general with your channel.
Exactly, but again, it's also how the people is using YouTube. Like, if you have a channel, for example, and then have some comments, and you reply to the comments, you create a conversation, because some people may have questions, you can answer them about the process, and I think this will be appreciated by them. Also, this is good because other designer, other people will see that, and they say, okay, I can gain something from that. So I will subscribe.
Do you always respond to comments?
Not always. I mean, it depends also on time. But if there's a question, yes. If sometimes there's a question like it is in the old video and they ask me about how to do this.
Yeah, that was my second question.
I don't remember
Yes.
what exactly the process. So, but at some point I will go back and see how it is done if I have time and reply. But yeah, that sometimes happens.
I personally put it in like a mission for myself to always answer like any comment on my channel. So yeah, if you do a comment, I will always answer it. But yeah, I have one video that went really well, and it's a tutorial I did like the Marvel intro tutorial, how to do that. And it was like 4 years ago. And I still have people asking questions. And I'm like, oh man, I don't even remember how.
Yes, exactly.
Because they're going to ask about something very specific. I'm like, I don't remember that specific thing. I need to watch it again and then answer it.
Or sometimes some comments are not, they haven't watched the video, actually. They just comment something and maybe the answer is in the video.
Yeah,
they haven't watched it.
You're like, if you watch the video, you're going to...
Yeah. I will probably answer on that, but it is kind of there is already the answer there. For example, I have a lot of questions about the setup I use because I usually use the iPad, but I have it as a second screen on my computer, and they say, "What's this app?" But I am explaining that this is my computer actually, but connected to the iPad.
I have a section in the podcast where I ask 3 fast random questions. You can answer for the first thing that pops in your mind and then you can expand on it.
Okay.
What's your favorite creative tool? It can be digital, it can be an actual tool like a pen or something, whatever you want.
The pen tool is for sure. I mean, the pen tool in the applications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because on my videos I use it a lot. Like, for selecting stuff, for creating paths and then add strokes to them. So that is something that is very useful for me.
Pen tool is, I think it's one of the tools that you need to know as a designer, actually.
Yes, I think it is the most software. It is there.
Yeah.
I mean, on all Adobe Suite, there is a pen tool. Also, on Cinema 4D, there is the spline. They call it spline, but it's quite similar with a pen tool.
Okay.
And it's not on Procreate, but it's different kind of software. But yeah, that's why this is really missing from the Photoshop version of iPad.
So second question, I know that you do a lot of lettering and you're doing your own letters, but what's your favorite font?
Oh, I will say fonts that I really like their simplicity, and so they're not related to lettering, like in terms of calligraphy, but I think the fonts I will use maybe would be Avenir or Helvetica or like quite the designers will say that about Helvetica, but usually I use this kind of fonts because if I want to do something more unique, I will create my own.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the block letters, that's where I'm using fonts.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and I believe if it is a clean font, that's what I like, and not to be very, very
cool. And final question: what's one thing you will never do again?
It's more general, but kind of I will try not to underestimate me or other people based on other people's opinion, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is that sometimes you hear like this is a good designer, for example, but you have to create your own opinion about that.
Yes,
because people are judging in a different way. So like judge by yourself.
Love it. I didn't expect that answer. So
it's
awesome.
Kind of
It's very deep.
I want to think about something more generic than a specific thing.
Nice.
But it has happened in the past to me, but also to other people. Like they don't have the confidence to about some stuff because they think they're not good enough, and that's because other people are judging them without even knowing them. And I think that's very important, because each person has its own story, and so you have to see the whole story to see if it is good or not.
Yeah. I think like when you get an opinion from someone, you need to also see who is the person giving the opinion to you.
Yes.
And if you trust that person, if he has good intents, etc.
Exactly. And also, if maybe it is a good opinion, but in the end it doesn't worth it. I mean, you have to see out of the box and see if it is it good indeed, or because some other people saying it is good, then you have to agree. No, you don't have to agree.
I see.
You have to see by yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically in general, do your own research, look for yourself, like if it is something you agree, and then decide. Like search for everything. You don't have to believe everything. Just look by yourself. Internet is out there. You can see everything. You can find everything.
You can do your own research.
Exactly.
You want, so,
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be in everyday life, but also in our work on design, for example. Even if you're using a font or something, and you see on a website that it is free to use, maybe it's not free to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are websites that you can download every font, like they say for free, but maybe it's illegal.
You can download it for free. You cannot use it for free.
Exactly, yeah. And maybe it's kind of a misunderstanding on how they write it. But this could be, in cases like these, but also it can be on, everyday life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree. I want to go to your collaborations, because you had a lot of them.
Yeah.
We have Wacom, we have Adobe, we have Cinema 4D, we have Satori. Let's get with Satori graphics.
Well, yeah, Satori graphics. Well, so we had done a video, I think it was like 3 years ago or something. And so back then I was, my channel is quite small. I mean, it's maybe sounds, good like number, like 18K at the moment, which is good for a designing channel in Greece, but it's not big at all if you compare it to worldwide or other channels.
If you will put 20K people in a stadium, and see how many they are, and you need to talk to them, I think you will not feel the same way.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. That's true. But I mean that okay, my channel has this number, which it's not a huge number, but
compared to him,
he was like, at this time I think he was about 500.
Yeah, because now he's 1 million something,
1.3 million or something.
Yeah.
Even more. And again, as I have seen it, he grew this channel with hard work, which is kind of very impressive and and like inspiring. So yeah, it was like 3 years ago that we did a video. I done the lettering of a phrase, and he did the pattern in Illustrator with this phrase. So half of the video is mine, half of the video is his. We put them both. We make our own versions and put it on my channel and on his channel. And actually, what I liked a lot was that he was very supporting on networking. Like he was replying to comments. I think I have done a comment on his video about the tutorial stuff and questions, or even that I like this video. And he replied to everyone as long as I have seen. But there are too many comments, so it's not possible to everyone. But anyway, and so we had this collab, and I was the only person that I was I had a good impact from that because I was back then like 1,000 subscribers or something. He had like 500,000.
Yeah.
So I was the only person that I could win something from that.
But he was the one contacting you, right, about doing that?
I had comment on his video.
Okay.
And then he commented on my video and said that if I don't know if it was a comment or a message on Twitter, that if I would like at some point we can like have a collab. I was like, yeah, of course I would.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, that it happened this way.
But even like you said, I comment first in his video, but he has 5,000 comments. So even seeing that comment, going to your channel, taking what you're doing, and commenting in your, not even asking to do a collab, just commenting in your video.
Yes, exactly.
It was like,
that's very, very
pretty cool from him.
Yes, that's what I mean about networking. He didn't have anything to gain, like, but in the end, I gained a lot. Like, I gained a lot of subscribers from his video only, like, 500 or something in one day. And I'm very, glad that it's happened.
And I know that when you grow and you have like 100K or 20 million, you will be like this, I'm sure.
Thank you. But yes, that was very nice. And also another thing has happened. It's very nice when people who are very big on what they're doing and you admire them, comment on your work positively, even if it is not very even if it is like with their feedback. If it is bad, that's to improve yourself. That has happened also with Will Patterson. I had comment on his channel and he commented back on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that.
Yes. But that is also like
where's the collab?
3 years ago. No. Of course I would like, but I had done another collab with another designer. He does a lot of 3D now. He was doing lettering, but now he does more of 3D. He's Ross Mason. Where at this moment I think we're quite the same about followers and subscribers and stuff. Now he has gone very big. Like he has I don't know 25K on Instagram and then on YouTube 20K or something. He's very good, but he does like 3D, more of not lettering, more of the 3D stuff, modeling and And
now I feel that I need to grow my channel and then ask you for a collab just to get in that list.
No, we can have now the collab.
No.
But that's something that happened back then with Satori. I was thinking that when about this collab, I was thinking in the beginning that maybe I'm not good enough to have this collab. I will have to improve myself and then get back to him and ask for the collab.
From him asking you and having, you had like 1K, what you said, I don't remember.
Yeah,
so little.
Like
I think it shows that he saw the potential in you and what you're doing, probably, and he was like,
"That's even better." So yeah, that was very made me feel very nice. That I mean, these designers are the ones that we are looking for to have to learn from, like tutorials and all this stuff on YouTube and everywhere. So it was very nice, that amazing actually that he sent me. If I'm not wrong, he sent me, but that doesn't matter. Like
yes,
it's kind of I would send him anyway.
Yeah,
and I don't want this sounds like I'm using his name to advertise myself. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that the social media in general are good about this, that you have the opportunity to show your work and other people or other companies that you really admire and or maybe use if it is a software tool can see your work. Yes. This is how it happened with Adobe, for example. Yes. They saw my work on YouTube. Even if I am a small channel, they saw my work.
That's cool.
Yeah. and this is how they contact me
Yeah.
through there.
I also need to thank you because you gave me a shout out on the live Adobe
Yeah, that's true.
video, live video. I don't know how to call it,
Adobe
but
Live,
yeah, you gave me a shout out and you showed my Behance portfolio, and
there was a section about that. There was a section that you were talking about another designer that you like and you admire and really like your work, and you believe they deserve more recognition. So yeah, I have seen your work, and even no, not because we're friends or something. I like your work, so that's why.
Thank you.
We weren't that friends at that time anyway.
Yeah, I think it was a long time ago, so we just maybe spoke a few times.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so thank you.
So yeah, and I really like your work, and it was very good that they gave this opportunity as well. I mean, we always need to shout out to people that we like their work, and they need. We would like to give more recognition. That's why I'm saying about the other YouTubers I like. For example,
yes,
Satori, Will Patterson, Rosmason, and not because I have done collabs with them, because I like their work.
Yes.
But yeah, and that's a good way that you can be discovered by these companies, because that's how it's happened with Adobe. That's coming back to your question. That's how it happened with Wacom or Wacom, whatever. On Instagram was this time. It was a competition about. So there at this year it was to have like three exhibitions. It was in Australia and New Zealand, and a publication with some works. So this competition was with 30 people, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
And it was on Instagram, and
they will select 30 people from all around the world, basically.
Yeah, from the people who had added this hashtag and this.
Okay.
But they were quite a lot.
Yeah.
And so the story was that I saw this competition in some lettering artists that I was following back then, and so I didn't saw the competition. I saw a hashtag, which was Wacom Next Level or something like this. So I put this hashtag too, because I was thinking that maybe this is a way more people to see my work. I didn't know that this was a competition. And like a couple of weeks later, Wacom sent me on. They sent me on Instagram. They commented under my work, and they say, "Check your DMs." It's like, whoa, Wacom is telling me to check my DMs. I went inside, and they were saying that we had chosen this, post, this artwork to put on our exhibitions. Would you like to do so? If yes, you can answer. I was like, what? Of course I do. And then I realized what was that about.
It reminds me of scams where they call you and like they pretend to be a big company. They're like, you won this competition that you never entered, but you won.
Yes, yeah. No, it wasn't that case, but of course I checked the account and so that is official.
Yeah, but it's very funny because you didn't really enter the competition, so it was like,
yeah, I didn't do this on purpose.
How did I win since I didn't enter?
But it was saying also the name, and yeah, because I saw this from this designer. Because he was doing the branding for this competition. It was David Milan. So yeah, he's a very good lettering artist. I really like his work, and I couldn't go to the exhibitions, unfortunately, in Australia and New Zealand. It was in Melbourne, Sydney, and Auckland. It's quite far away from here. You have to plan it. So yeah. But I'm glad that I was on these exhibitions. Yeah,
that's super cool.
And Wacom is also a company I really like, and I am using their tablets anyway. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And yeah, that was good.
By the way, I need to mention for the Adobe Live, for people to know that they don't just ask you to do an Adobe Live; they pay you to do it. But it was funny
how it happened.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm saying, that sometimes you don't believe in yourself, you don't have the confidence. Because I received this email and they were saying that are you interested in having some like a tutorial video on Adobe Live about the way you work with Adobe software? And I was like, yes, I would like, of course. And then they mentioned like, a price. And in the beginning I misunderstood because I thought they were talking about to advertise myself, I had to pay for that. And then I read it another time, and I was said, okay, maybe you're not very clever, because they were saying that they will pay me for having these tutorial, these Adobe Live sessions, and then of course I would do that
for free.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to say that.
Yeah.
Just in case you get another Adobe
designer have to be paid.
You mentioned getting double the other time or something like that. It will be funny that if you didn't realize that and you will answer, yes, I want to do it, but can we do it in a lower price? Maybe half of it? You're like,
what?
Okay.
Yeah, that was funny anyway, because but yeah, exactly. I wasn't like very confident like about my skills. I wasn't believing in myself, like I was like, okay, that's really happening. So yeah, it was very nice. And about mentioning Cinema 4D, it wasn't so about this. I had a message, freelance work. They had contacted me from Maxon, and I think was a director of design or something, and he sent me about a lettering work, like a normal freelance work. They wanted for I think was for apparel, for the t-shirts in their company, and they wanted a lettering design to have on the t-shirt. So he sent me, and I was preparing. So I had planned some vacation holidays. It was Christmas holidays. I was going to New York, and I didn't want to go to holidays and work there. It would be like ruin my holidays. So I said, of course, I would like to do that, but I will be able in a month time to do that. Is that okay? He replied that he couldn't do that this time, but maybe next time we will have another. We can work together in the future. So yeah, that didn't work out, but
okay. But I think that's a good tactic in general, and with clients and with everyone, not just collaborations, because it shows that. Like now it was vacations, okay. You have a life, you have other things to do. But
exactly, yeah.
Most of the times it's like I also have other projects. I cannot just dump everything and just do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will be free in a month. That
depending on the project sometimes, or the clients, or you can squeeze more projects in your time. You don't have to do that all the time. In my opinion, you should not do that all the time, because you have your life. You should not work all the time, because that's not healthy at all.
And also, I think you don't enjoy it as much.
You don't enjoy
because
it,
you squeeze everything together. So I think you grew up in the countryside, right? And not in Athens.
No, I'm from Corfu. In the island of Corfu. I grew up there, awesome. And then I went for studies in Thessaloniki, in northern Greece. Okay. And my studies were not on design, were on electronic engineering, which didn't have any connection with design, just some tiny bits. But then I started working. Then I started I liked Photoshop. I was doing also graffiti, which, if you think about it, is connected with lettering. It's kind of similar.
I think a lot of graphic designers that I know was doing graffiti.
Me too.
As a kid. Me too. So
you too. Oh, okay.
I'm not doing lettering, but
Yeah, but if you think about graffiti, it is kind of lettering, but also graphic design.
I was actually more into characters, actually.
Yeah? Oh, nice. So you probably do illustrations as well. Yeah, you do illustrations.
I do illustrations.
I've seen on your channel. And then I went to Thessaloniki, and I was working on learning Photoshop. And then an opportunity came for a job remotely, and it was in the US, in New York. I started working there, and so in this job it was like more of printed banners and do all of
Okay.
like, you know, if it was a small company or a big company, they wanted banners to advertise their work.
Printed, like in the
Printed, yeah,
street.
printed, yeah.
Okay.
And
That's scary. To be honest, like everything printed,
yeah,
especially in the beginning of your career, if you make a mistake and then it's
yeah.
printed, it's like, oh no.
And also it was a bit hard because I was living in Greece. The work and the printers were in the US.
Yes.
So I wasn't able to see
Nice.
any mistakes or anything, but it went well. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And also I'm more happy because through this job I had the opportunity to work with tech runs on some events they had. So yeah, that was a big opportunity. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that I went to the UK.
Yeah. So you left from a small island to a bigger city to then a more bigger city. That's my English. More bigger to a larger city in London. Now you're back in Athens. So
yeah, I mean, as you say, as you know better than me, that you are a digital nomad yourself. Like you're working remotely from anywhere. So it's kind of at this point I was working full remote. So I was thinking, okay, I live in Greece, but why not go live in another country? So I went to the UK. I was living in Cambridge, and which is very close to London. And then I changed job. So I get a job in London, which was also about technology events. Because yeah, in my position was like a marketing designer in the tech industry. So it was with events in several cities, like it was Singapore, it was Bahrain, it was London, and then other cities came after that. And so also again with large printed graphics, but I had the opportunity to see them by myself there.
Yeah.
And see anything that I had to fix. And then I changed work again in the UK in Cambridge. It was also marketing of surgical robotic system, but yeah. And then I came back to Greece after 6 years. I came here around 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And so I started working in the advertising company. And now I am working the last year in a company which is about the travel tech. It's on the group of EasyJet, you know, but that's in this group, but it's another product.
Okay.
Travel. Yeah.
Since you worked and lived so many years in London, any big differences that you noticed in general in life from London to Athens, in Greece general, and work possibly? Any big differences that you noticed?
Well, yes, there were some differences, like even in the everyday life, because I got myself having like a lot of inspiration from the city, for example, or all the trends on the design and this kind of stuff. Actually, many of them was happening there in London. But in the other hand, this this design industry is also happening online, which means that you don't have to be in London to see these, but there it was all around you. So you can get inspired by artwork, street art, anything. Even the windows of the shops, they were like very inspiring. So this is something that I miss from the UK and London, but yeah, as I said, it's kind of everything is online, so you can still have them. In terms of work, that's another thing that many designers have in their mind that big companies like Google or and they have it so big in their minds. So that's something that I saw and see that this is just how the way you think. Because for example, with one of my works, of my jobs, the one in London, we had an event in so it was one day that it was in Google offices in London. Was I think was a workshop or something. Yeah, it wasn't exactly part of the job, but we went on the offices, and it was very nice, very cool, etc. But then I realized also when I went to the second company, which was the offices were very similar to this mentality as the Google works. It was like, okay, that's something very nice, but is the you have it bigger in your mind.
Yes.
And then you realize that it's something that you can do, and
Yeah.
it's not that far away, even if it is another country. I mean, it's not that far away. So these kind of things, I think they were different.
Okay.
In terms of how the work environment is, I think that depends on the company itself. It could be in any country. So yeah. So the same here in Athens, in Greece. It's kind of, there are companies that are with very good environment. Some others are not so good. So it depends. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you're almost at 20K subs right now, and I want to go to the monetization of the YouTube and making money out of it for people that are interested in that. Do you really need? Personally, do consider that 20K is a lot, but do you think that you need a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers in order to get paid to monetize?
So it's not about exactly the subscribers, it's about the views. The more the views, the better the income. But in the other hand, for example, at the moment I have around 18K subscribers. My views are not the best, but they're okay. I can remember exactly the number of the views. But also the money I'm making from YouTube are very low.
From YouTube itself.
From Google, the AdSense.
Yeah.
So also there are many things that are important. For example, I'm doing my channel in English, which means that my audience is from countries like US, UK, which are, depending on the country, the ads are paid more.
Yeah.
So
I think Greece it's very low.
Yes.
So yeah.
So if you have, for example, 1,000 views in the US and 1,000 views in Greece, in the US you may have double the income or something. So yeah, the price is the monetization goes every 1,000 views which are with ads, you get a number of it could be €1, could be €2. It depends on the niche. So you have to think about which is the audience in which countries. Then you have to think about the niche, because if I'm talking about design, my ads will be people who are looking for design. Their ads will be about software, things like that. If the channel is about economic stuff, like financial stuff and things like that, for example Bitcoin or things like this will be way better for income, because every market has its own is paid better. Like they advertise better. So I think at the moment the best one to make money from YouTube is financial stuff like Bitcoins and this kind of.
Okay.
For example, I know that channels with my numbers would make good money every month.
Yeah.
I don't
and I guess it's also the same with sponsorships. Because companies that are in the financial business, they're gonna pay more for them to sponsor your video than I don't know, a random brand in Greece.
And of course the sponsorships are way better money
because personally I don't really care about the Google monetization from YouTube. What other avenues are there for people to be able to make a living from YouTube, or at least have a decent
there are many ways
income?
There are many ways, first is the ads from YouTube. Okay, Then you can have the sponsorships, which sometimes are very good. It depends on the agreement, but yeah. Then sometimes most of the times when you're a small channel, then the sponsorship will not pay you in money, but they can pay you with like to have a review of the screen, to have a review of a lamp, to have a review or something, and you keep the product.
Okay.
That has happened to me in some cases. Then you can have like affiliate marketing, which is kind of you can talk about what you're using, like my computer or my mouse or my anything that I use, and I will direct people to a link on my description to see what it is. But when they click on this link, then there is like maybe a 10% or something, the commission that I get from their buy. If they buy, I will get a commission. That happens a lot with Amazon, but also other companies.
Yes.
So another way is to create products which are not connected with YouTube. Actually, there are, because YouTube has added market now.
Yeah.
And so you can create some things like, for example, I do lettering on Procreate. I create brushes, or in Photoshop, or material in Cinema 4D. I create these products and I add them in a shop, and I connected this with my YouTube, so people can see this product and go and buy it.
That's cool. So they see the brushes that you use, they go buy them, and they can do.
Yeah, and I say on my videos that if you'd like to use the same, you can go and get them from there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can give them for free, but we have to pay the bill, so. So that's another way, and there are many shops that you can do. I mean,
I think most people will do a T-shirt or something like that, which is classic. But I think that's very clever because it's something also useful that people are gonna use.
Or sometimes when I was watching tutorials, I wanted to have like the project files, and they would be very helpful for me. And when I was finding them, I would get them. They may be for free, they may be for a small amount of money. So I do this too. I put in most of my videos, I put the project files, and most of the times I give them like for a very small amount, because I know that it's for practice mostly. People will not use it commercially. If they need to use it commercially, they can send me and discuss about the price, because there will be a different price as it is with the phones, different price for commercial, different for also some other ways are, so YouTube has added also the memberships, which is similar to Patreon. You can add a membership for files or for other videos, many other stuff.
So basically Patreon or the membership is the people are paying you monthly, but they get extra things out of it, right?
It depends. For example, in Patreon, there are some different memberships. It could be the first one, which just for support, like and you say that you will not have any benefit, you're just supporting me. Give like €1 or whatever. And then you have other which you'll say that you will get the project files. That's what I'm doing on my Patreon. I will put like in one membership, I will put the project files. I will put backstage photos or anything. They have my support. If they need some question, if they have questions, I can answer them. In my bigger like membership, I have all the project files, because if it is a bigger one, I will put it on there. There are also discounts for my shop on also Patreon has added shop inside now, so but these are kind of different ways to have like money from YouTube. Some are directly from YouTube, some are not. Like it's kind of you go to another site like Patreon, or Gumroad is also another one. But there are many ways. In my opinion, like I have focused on Google Ads and or sponsorships or things like that, and the digital products, which also, if you'd like, we can go to this topic, that it is the passive income that many designers are using.
Yes.
Because you create a video or you create a product, and then you can just keep posting videos or post on Instagram or somewhere to show your work and say that I'm using this product to create this work. If you'd like to do the same, you can buy your own. And that's passive income, which means that I create a product once and then I get paid every time a person is buying that. And actually, that is actually, YouTube is passive income if you think about it.
Yes.
Because it's
like
videos.
The big channels, they have like videos from 5 years ago and they still keep getting paid out from those videos.
Yes. Even me, which again is not a huge channel, but I had stopped like putting videos on YouTube because I was living in the UK. I was moving to Greece, so I had other stuff to do. I wasn't focused on YouTube. So I had like maybe a year that I didn't upload not even one video, and I was making money every month from that.
That's cool.
Because there were just other videos that they would keep like people watching them.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the biggest from the passive incomes that you have right now? What's the biggest one in terms of that makes you the most money, basically? The biggest percentage of your income?
For me personally, it's kind of a equal amount on Patreon and YouTube. Maybe YouTube is a bit more, but it's,
you mean the monetization directly from YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh,
directly.
Nice. I didn't expect that actually.
Yeah, actually, there isn't a big amount of money, but because
even so, like this is why I'm asking percentage. Because I was thinking that the actual YouTube will be the smallest percentage.
No, because it's kind of, to go to the other stuff and buy the products, for example, they need to see first the video and go and direct them to buy the products. So, I think it's kind of, maybe YouTube could be first, and then it was time that Gumroad had a good, good number of sellings. Patreon is kind of, some people are getting in then getting out, so it's not the number is not the same. But because I have in many shops things, that's kind of mixed, like coming from different ways. Okay.
Do you get clients from YouTube?
Yeah, that's another thing that also YouTube is helping. So many people are contacting me from YouTube too. They say that I saw a video on YouTube and I wanted to talk about the project I would like to have. And so there's a lot of freelance work at the moment because I'm focusing on lettering. That's what I would like to do on my freelance work. So it's most of the time it's about lettering. But so that's another way. And
I think it shows also that you don't really need to have a huge amount of followers or subscribers in order to basically advertise your work to clients or potential clients.
Yes, it's the more the better, but it doesn't have to have like a huge amount, huge number. But of course you need in order to, because first you create a product or a video, but it needs to be spread, like to share it so people will know about that. I mean, that's marketing actually.
Yes.
So you have to have some audience. The other way is to have sponsored posts, which means that you have to pay for them. That's another way, but you have to spend some money for that. But that helps too.
Yeah, I think I did close a client because of the YouTube videos, because we were talking about doing a project, and after that he didn't respond for a month, I think, and then after a month he told me, I saw this video you made about clients, and I was talking to designers about clients, not to clients. And he was like, I like the way that you think, let's proceed.
With the same client? Okay, that's interesting.
So it was like he watched that video and then he I don't know, it was like
that's nice. I mean, clients like respect, and they like to work with people who are they like to see how people works, so and how people think. So if they think that your mentality is kind of good for them, they will keep you, and they would like to work
because I think business and deals and stuff like that, it's about trust.
Yeah.
So if you can showcase yourself and the client connects with you, then he's going to have trust on you.
Yeah.
Basically, you create that trust without even knowing each other really.
Yeah, exactly. And this something similar happened to me. Not similar, but I mean that I had contacted on Behance, which is another way that people can get clients, and also they can sell their. They can have a subscription. They can sell their products. It has many of these stuff. So yeah, I had this client from Behance, and then something happened with his account. We started the project on Behance, so he had paid the deposit, and then something happened on his account, and then we lost the messages and the agreement of the project.
Okay.
So he had put the deposit, but I hadn't worked on that. I didn't give any.
So it was a system issue from
It
Behance
was
itself.
yeah, something like that. So I wanted to find him and tell him that if you'd like to stop with the collaboration, I can give you back the money, the deposit, because I hadn't started anything at this point, and that's it, and that's fine. But if you want to continue, we need to do something. And so I couldn't find him because I couldn't find his profile on Behance. But then in the end, the message got back. He found my email and he contacted me, and I replied to him that if you'd like, I can give the deposit. If you'd like, we can continue. And he said, yeah, I will try to contact Behance to see what is wrong. And he did, and we continue this way. But this way, he appreciated that it was okay for me to give the deposit back.
Yes.
Of course it was. I hadn't started working. If I had started working on that, that's the meaning of the deposit.
Yeah.
Like if I spend my time on that, I would keep the deposit. But he appreciated that, and then we really had a very good commission work. So that's what I mean, that people are appreciating the way you are thinking and the way you work.
Yes.
It's not always about the style of your designs. It's also the way you are thinking about that. So that's why maybe this client sent you about, okay, so this video.
Yes.
And I like the way you're thinking, so we can continue.
Any final thoughts on people that want to start monetizing and not monetizing through YouTube, but all those different areas that you talked about, to basically start making money out of their videos? Any tips, any final thoughts there?
So there are many things they have to work out. So it's because I said earlier, you have to create a product or a video or something, but people will have to find it. So at the same time, they have to do a lot of networking to other designers, other people, about to create relationships. And this way, these people will go and watch the videos and see if they like your products to buy. But the main thing is not to make the money, but create this relationship. And if your products are worth it, you will see the outcome. So yeah, maybe it's that, to keep working on design, on posting designs, videos, and at the same time have interaction with the comments. Go and have conversation in other videos to build this environment. And I think that's the best way to grow.
Okay. Cool. We're almost in the end. Where's the best place for people to find you?
Okay. So YouTube, obviously, it's my channel, which is Angelo Konofaos or Angelo KNF. Angelo KNF is on all the other social, like Instagram. I'm on Twitter too. I'm not very active, but anyway.
I will have all your links.
Thank you. Yeah,
obviously.
Behance, obviously, is one of the social media that I use a lot, and LinkedIn, I'm pretty active on that as well. It's more professional, for work. But yeah, I think.
Cool.
And on Patreon, I'm on Patreon.
Yeah, we'll have also your shop and everything there.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, as you asked earlier, I think that's a good way to have many places to exist, like to have appearance, like to be on Patreon, to be on YouTube. And this is actually something that you can create a bigger, better relationships with your audience. Because some
Yes.
people are using more Patreon, for example. They will say messages in this platform. And yeah.
Okay. And the last thing I do is to ask if you have any shout out for anyone that you think could be a good fit for the podcast, that I could bring them in next time.
I think I will go on the lettering community.
Okay, cool.
Like, yes, because I remember when I started lettering, there was a community on Instagram which had like a lot of designers, lettering artists, and I really liked their work. And some people I really like how they were talking, because they were uploading videos, and you see more of their work, like as you said earlier, their mentality. And so I would say some of the lettering artists I really like, even if I don't know them personally, is Jimbo Bernaus. He's a lettering artist. He's Catalan from Barcelona. He's very good. He's using Procreate mostly, and he do 3D lettering and illustrations, or manually, like he draws everything. Also, another artist, lettering artist, who does similar with Jimbo Bernaus, 3D lettering, manual 3D lettering on Procreate, but her skills are in another level in 3D. Like she's imagining, like, the lighting, the shadows, everything very well. Her name is Aurélie Maron, if I pronounce it correctly, and she's from Australia, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I think these two are very good for
awesome
to show their work. Their work is amazing.
Okay, I'll send them a message. Thank you. Thank you for coming in, man. And
my pleasure.
You are free to come back anytime you want.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as long as now I'm located in Athens, we definitely can have like more podcasts. Thanks so much for having me here. It was a pleasure. Yeah.
Awesome.